Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I've had some severe technical difficulties that I've sorted out. I'm incredibly happy to be in front of this camera with a working microphone, able to talk to you guys today about this topic. I've been wanting to do this since a week ago and I finally got the chance now. I'm super excited. Hope you guys are too. Let's get right into it. So, are advertising agencies worth it? Is a topic that I'm going to cover today. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. Probably, well, this seems like it's going to be a fairly biased standpoint. And I'm actually really going to do my best to take as much bias out of this as I can. As an advertising agency owner myself, I've also worked with other advertising agency owners who do various other things. So I've been a client as well as a service provider. So I know both ends of this spectrum when it comes to this business. And I feel like because of that, I can give kind of a unique perspective that a lot of advisors may not have. So, yeah, that being said, I'm going to go into where it might be actually worth it to get an advertising agency, what situation it may not be worth it to do, and kind of everything in between, right? So, that's what we're going to get into right now. So here are some typical experiences with ad agencies that aren't so pleasant that a lot of people kind of have problems with for various different reasons here. The problem is that, 99% of agency owners give the rest a bad name. It's just a joke. I'm kidding, of course. There are some really great guys in this industry, but there definitely are a lot of people that you have to look out for, right? So a lot of people feel like when they work with an ad agency, they're just another number on the balance sheet for them. If any of you guys have seen people who do all these ad agencies, you might see, we make so much money, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And they kind of feel like they're more concerned about the money than they are actually delivering the product or service. A lot of agencies have far more salespeople than they do actual people to deliver the product or the service to their clients, which is a huge problem. So they're selling, but they're not really fulfilling any of the things that they're actually claiming to sell. And with that, you get these cookie cutter templated worksheets or whatever it might be, right? So you'll have a lot of agency owners who will just do the same rinse and repeat process for every single client, no personalization, no nothing, just expect it to work flawlessly for everybody every single time, just to cut out as much work as possible. And of course, we all have templates, as advisors, as an agency owner, myself, we all have templates for some things. It's not what I'm talking about. It's not like writing up a quote for something. It's, running the exact same email campaign and just, replacing the name or something like that. And never doing any of the actual work that people need done, the personalization to the business, never taking that attention to detail that the client really cares about. There's a lot of people who do that, and it really frustrates a lot of people who work with ad agencies when they feel like they're just getting these cookie cutter templates, right? The other one is bad results, long contracts, and zero accountability, right? So very, very difficult to work with ad agencies sometimes who provide bad results and then tie you up into long contracts. That's a common selling feature that a lot of guys do is they'll have do a 6-month contract. It'll be, some huge, ginormous contract. They'll promise you the world. And then, first 2 months you get horrible results. You want to go out of it and they try to hold you to the contract. And then there's zero accountability on their end for the results they get as well, right? So part of how we've kind of gotten around that in our own agency is we don't do any lock-in contracts. Everything is completely month to month. And yeah, we offer a guarantee on the amount of leads that we can meetings that we actually book every month, depending on the actual ad spend and a couple of variables. But we offer a guarantee, and we also offer no lock-in contracts as well, right? So huge things for us that we kind of did to get around that and try to separate ourselves from the pack a little bit. That being said, even though some typical experiences with ad agencies can look something like this, there are definitely some struggles when you go solo, right? So first of all, it takes a lot of time to set up and manage, your ad campaigns or email campaigns, whatever it might be. If you're, a new advisor who's familiar with the online space, you've done a lot of emails before, you've done a lot of ads before, go for it. Great. If you have the time to do it, then go for it. But it does take, in order to really run ads successfully, it takes an incredible amount of time to set up and manage these campaigns, especially if you're doing, a proper campaign like you're supposed to, if you really want to be generating leads. And I've recorded other videos on that. I won't go too far into it, but if you're doing, uh, email campaigns, text campaigns that are hooked to the back end of your Facebook campaigns, if you're doing retargeting, all that stuff, it takes a lot of time to set up and manage, not to even mention appointment setters once you get into that, right? So with that time that it takes to set up and manage, there's obviously a huge knowledge gap for advisors and agents to overcome in the first place, right? So there can be a very, very steep learning curve that becomes really difficult to kind of fathom and get over when you're doing online advertising, especially because for you guys as advisors, you are not online advertisers. That's not what your specialty is. It's not what you were trained to do. It's not what you're passionate about. You were trained to give advice, give insurance, give whatever it is that you're selling, whether it is a product or a service. That is what you're trained in. That is what you're trained to do. So to learn on basically an entire new career is something that is incredibly daunting to a lot of agents and a lot of advisors with that knowledge gap. So again, not just the time invested in setting up everything, but then the time invested in the actual knowledge to be able to generate profitable campaigns to begin with. However, unfortunately, most of the knowledge that you're actually going to get is by going out and doing it yourself, right? So there's only so much theory that you can learn, and you can learn all the tips and tricks, right? But it's kind of like I can read about, playing basketball until the cows come home. Until I pick up a ball and start shooting, it's a whole different ball game once you start actually doing it, right? So a lot of the time what we find is people who thought they were going to save money by not going with an agency is, with going solo, they ended up getting their entire budget eaten up because they had to spend so much money to learn, right? So this is kind of, they did all the reading up. They got these two things down pat. Look, they said, I have a lot of time. I can set up and manage these campaigns. I'm going to really take the time to research what I'm doing, yada, yada, yada. And at the same time, once they started spending money, they realized it's a little bit different than the YouTube videos that they were watching. And they got caught up in that. And they started spending a lot of money for results, right? So if you, let's just, let me give a good example here, right? If you were to spend $2,000 and you generated leads for $20 each, that would be 100 leads, right? Now, if you were to pay an agency $2,000, maybe $3,000, and they were to generate you 400, 500 leads and get that cost down from, $20 a lead to like $5, $6, maybe even $4 a lead. Well, even though you're paying a little bit more, or even if you're paying the same amount, right? Like even if you pay an agency $2,000 and they're able to get you from 100 to 200 leads, right? Like you're paying for that knowledge and that information that also comes along with it. So you're actually a lot of the time not really saving any money by running leads by yourself and not paying a management fee to an agency. You're only saving money in the very, very short term, but looking at the long-term kind of horizon of things, you're going to spend a lot of money actually just learning how ads work. And once you get in there and once you get in the arena, you're going to find out it's probably a little bit more difficult than you originally thought it was. So with that being said, if you don't have a whole lot of background in online advertising, it can be a little difficult to get started. So you maybe do want to look for an agency after all. So what should you actually look for in an agency? Well, I think first off, you should look for somebody with a proven track record, right? So somebody who's shown lots of results, and not necessarily somebody who's, flexing and bragging all the time, getting back to here, but just somebody who has proven results. Like, for example, going onto our website, nessierenault.card.co. I believe that's in the description of this video that you're watching. We have here, we're showing, our calendar. We're showing testimonials. We have a video testimonial from this guy here. We have a whole bunch of lead gen campaigns that we ran, showing this one here. We generated 1,167 leads for $5 a lead. If we go down here, we show we were getting leads for under $1.40. Show all these different metrics on all this different stuff. If you want to take a look at our website, again, I'm not really here to flex that. But anyways, if you'd like to take a look at our site, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, nessierenault.card with 2Rs.co. It'll be in the description of this video. But you want to look for somebody who has a lot of results, somebody who's proven to actually know what they're doing, and somebody who you know will be able to help you, right? Another huge thing is professionalism, especially within this space. I've been astounded because I myself have talked to other agency owners, and one common thing that I've noticed a lot of the time is just simple things like showing up to a call on time, and guys getting that one wrong. I remember showing up to a sales call with this kind of growth agency we were talking to at one time, and they were basically an agency for agency owners, so it's getting really kind of meta down there. But anyway, we were talking to these guys, and they showed up like 15 minutes late to the call and then just proceeded to not answer any of our questions or know anything about our business. It was like the most unprofessional thing that I've ever seen. And unfortunately, when you have a lot of younger guys in the space, that's kind of what you get. But looking for people who have that sense of professionalism, that is it's not the be all end all, but it's a very, very, very good, strong indicator of how seriously they take their work. Because a lot of guys in this space, you can probably cut out 50% of them probably won't even show up to calls on time, right? So right there, you already know that's a red flag that's gone. If they don't do that, you've just taken out, a really big thing for yourself. Another huge thing to look for, and I would say this is the biggest one, is look for people who try to provide value before trying to sell you anything, right? So this is key here. Looking for agency owners who are, or not just agency owners, but just agencies in general, or people to work with. In fact, I think this is a great piece of advice for anybody that you work with, not just agency owners, but I would say especially in this space as well. Look for people who are trying to provide value to you before they sell you anything, right? If you have a process and a system that really works, you can afford to share a little bit of that for free in return for attention. That's what I do on this YouTube channel. I try to provide as much value as I possibly can to every single person who watches. We don't just provide the YouTube videos as well. We have a free Facebook group that any advisors or agents or whoever can join. We take that pretty seriously. We're posting lots of content in there. We have free TikTok scripts that we've been giving out, a year's worth of TikTok scripts for any advisor or agent who wants them. In fact, those are also in the description. There's also a description link to those in this video if you would like to look in our description. We try to provide as much value as possible before we try to sell anything. So these are the important things to look for when looking for an agency to work with, because as we've established, it can be pretty difficult to do this on your own. So our agency specializes in lead generation, and I just want to go over real quickly our exclusive lead system. It's a done-for-you multi-dimensional lead generating process. So what that means is we're generating leads on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram mainly. We do a couple other ones, but those are the main ones that we really focus on. That way, if let's say, Facebook gets taken down or Instagram gets taken down, your profiles or ad accounts on there, we still have TikTok to run with or a couple other ones. It's a very resilient, anti-fragile system. We know we're going to be generating leads consistently because, like I said, even if one goes down, we got two more up and live and going. On top of that, we also have lead nurturing processes to help you capture more lead conversion. Like I was talking about before, our email campaigns, our text campaigns, and even our appointment setters who will call the leads in your list to make sure that they get on an appointment with you. And the system is set up so that you never have to do any cold outreach again. All you're doing is just booking in calls and getting people sold. So if you're interested in that, would like to get a quick 15-minute walkthrough, feel free to drop a comment on this video or DM me anywhere on Facebook, Instagram, whatever works best for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.